Blake, your bad needs a little bit of setup here. Through 53 games, Jimbo Fisher is 37-16 at Texas A&M. Now that is the exact same record as former coach Kevin Sumlin. That's what he had through 53 before he was eventually fired. Now Paul Feinbaum said Texas A&M's top boosters might be willing to pay Jimbo Fisher's massive buyout if things continue to trend poorly. But just how massive is it? 95.6 million. It is the largest buyout in history by a mile. No one has ever had one of over 50. Now, I know there's a lot of oil money in the Lone Star State, but still, firing Jimbo seems like a bit of a stretch given that $95 million figure. So, Blake, what steps do you think will be taken outside of letting Jimbo go?
Well, Jimbo's not going anywhere. They're not going to fire Jimbo Fisher after one bad year. The year's not over with. They look to be an 8-4 type team again this year, which they've consistently kind of been. So they need to revamp their offensive coaching staff. You're going to see a lot of changes offensively for them. Jimbo's making $9 million a year. And they're going to have to put some funds into their coaching staff. So I expect them to hire a very big name offensive coordinator, hopefully with a lot of great history and development with quarterbacks. They've got some talent on offense, but if they keep losing, the transfer portal is going to fill up quickly after the season, and they're going to have to kind of get a restart. But they got a chance this weekend going to Alabama, team that they beat last year at home, to get things rolling again. That win last year seemed to really energize the fan base and the recruiting. So we'll see what happens, but I expect a lot of changes in College Station after the season, both on the staff and with the roster.
You would have to really, really hate a guy to cut him a check for $95 million to go away. And I don't know anybody, as rich as some of those guys are, I don't know that anybody dislikes Jimbo that much. He has done a great job recruiting. Offense has become stagnant. Like, I agree with Blake. You're going to see an offensive coordinator come in the picture. Blake, wouldn't it be wild if former Longhorn coach Tom Herman ended up being the offensive coordinator at Texas A&M, was a national championship OC for Urban Meyer at The Ohio State University? It would be incredibly crazy if you saw Tom Herman come in and save Jimbo's offense for the Aggies.
Yeah, they're going to have to find somebody. So it's a good job. They got a ton of money. They'll be able to money whip somebody for a good spot there. And like I said, they've got talent. So they've got to just re-energize their offense. They've got a couple of young quarterbacks there that have some talent. So, but they need to win. They need to give recruits in this year's class a little bit of hope for the future. Or all last year's recruiting class is for nothing.
And I think one thing that we haven't looked at when we're talking about Jimbo and calling plays, this isn't the old college football where you can sit in the film room. Because of the transfer portal, because of NIL, because of roster management, I think it's going to be pretty hard for any coach that loves to call the offensive side of the ball or the defensive side of the ball to be able to do that. This is really a CEO's ball game now, and the guys who can manage that the best are going to have the best chance to win.